Right now, officials are still hunting for a plane believed to have gone down in the Mediterranean. Good evening, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. The Airbus with 66 people on board vanished from radar overnight on a flight from Paris to Cairo. In a few hours, an armada of planes and ships will resume searching for signs of victims and wreckage. American intelligence tells NBC News there are indications of an explosion.
NBC's Tom Costello has the latest.
In the Mediterranean, and Richard Osman was on board, his brother Alistair.
I never would have expected this to happen. I never would expect to wake up to this.
There is no confirmed wreckage and no credible claim of responsibility. U.S. intelligence says a check of the passenger manifest found no one on the U.S. terrorism watch list.
We are following breaking news out of North Columbia where there appears to be some sort of standoff situation.
It's near Quail Drive and Columbia Healthcare. Police have blocked off part of Quail Drive. Officers told KOMU there appears to be a standoff. We don't have much information, but we will keep you updated as those additional information comes available.
Travelers looking to beat the TSA lines in airports this summer have discovered pre-checking options come with lines of their own. Identigo, the TSA pre-checking option in Columbia, has experienced a huge spike in travelers looking to beat the airport lines. The local Identigo director says more than 30 travelers are coming in a day. That's compared to an average of about 10 usually. With such an influx in business, he advises travelers to act quickly.
Every day this week has been going up, so the sooner people can get in here, actually pre-enroll online, it makes everything a lot easier when they come in. But if not, we'll walk them in. We'll take them in as a walk-in as quickly as possible.
For $85, travelers can use the pre-check for 5 years. Those looking to beat the pre-checking lines should avoid the busiest times, morning and late afternoon.
If you've ever seen a street sign suddenly disappear, it might be because it has a unique name or more likely an alcohol-related name. Street signs like Rolling Rock and South Park are the most popular stolen in Columbia. The sign technician from Public Works explains on Twitter, signs go missing all the time, especially signs with names of beer. The city has the power to change street names, but would only do so if neighbors reported a problem. The city is keeping an eye on the names of new streets.
It's not as much as a problem going forward because, you know, for a little while now we've had a process in place that when a developer wants to create a new street, they need to submit the names of those streets, and we do a lot better job now of vetting those names of the streets for people's personal names or names of other college towns.
Replacing signs comes out of the city budget. Dalton wasn't sure of the costs.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol has a new tool to make Mid-Missouri safer, and it's right at your fingertips. Troopers released an app today that allows drivers to submit photos of an accident. Users have the option to receive press releases, Amber Alerts, and news about major road closures. Other features include access to the sex offender registry and a driver locator service. One Columbia dad says he hopes his kid will use the location pinpointing feature to tell troopers where they are in case of an accident.
If there's an accident and they don't know exactly where they're at, then using that, I guess, help them fire and rescue and the police to find exactly where they're at.
The app is free to download and it's available for both Apple and Android users. Troopers encourage drivers to pull over before using the app.
A nice warm weekend would be nice, unlike last weekend. Let's send it over to Kenton for a check of the forecast.
All right, Jim, we'll see what we can do. Good evening, everyone. A lot of clouds out there this afternoon and this evening. Rain slow.
Today, the historic Black Business Center in Columbia celebrates 1 year since its dedication. The Sharp End Heritage Committee unveiled a historic marker in 2015 for the Sharp End Historic District. This was the Black-owned business center through the early 1960s. The committee chair now works with the city to develop more minority and women-owned businesses in Columbia. One local business owner says he wants to see more African-American owned businesses in the future.
Before you grow, you got to get started. And African Americans and others, you know, they have to have the right ideas, the right business plans, the right know-how to get it going.
Henry says once people do get started, different organizations and programs are available to help grow and expand businesses.
American workers will soon see a bump in their paychecks thanks to the Department of Labor. Later this year, workers making about $47,000 a year or less can receive overtime pay. Previously, only workers making less than $23,000 were eligible. Employees and businesses have mixed reaction to the change. An Italian chef in Columbia supports the change, but groups such as the Missouri Restaurant Association oppose it.
It's one more example of a federal overreach into a business and employee relationship.
The way I feel about it is any person who works at any job who gets 40 and over hours should get paid overtime. So I guess I do agree with it all.
The change begins December 1st.
Every sport has its risks. In a Target Date investigation, we take a look at what some Mid-Missouri high schools are doing to help reduce the risks for baseball players.
Welcome back to KOMU 8 News at 9 o'clock on Mid-Missouri CW. Some fog out there this morning, clearing up with a lot of blue sky early this morning, and then clouds slowly increasing throughout the day as was expected with high temperatures right around that 70-degree mark. Now we do have just some minor rain slowly moving into the area, but let's first start off with our drought monitor. And as we can see, we're only seeing the lowest level of drought here for some of our southern viewing area, so most of us are actually clear of drought conditions in mid-Missouri. Great news for us here on that front. A washout every day. We're just going to have that chance every day just for a storm to swing through.
Major change from last weekend when it was very, very chilly.
It was. We're going to be feeling the opposite of that.
All right, Kenton, thanks.
Excited for it. Coming up, why a certain stigma surrounding high school baseball is preventing changes to protecting players. Pitchers are, as you know, the center of the baseball diamond.
They're also at the center of attention right now for a different reason. 8 Major League Baseball pitchers have been hit by line drives in the head since 2013. KOMU8's Tyler Hastett tells us the tradition of baseball makes this a very difficult fix.
Leg expecting impact. He got.
Oh, look out! A shot right back at Cobb.
Alex Cobb, one of the unlucky. Tyler Hastett, KOMU8 News, Columbia.
To see Dr. Gray's suggested methods for protective gear, visit our website at KOMU.com. We've got Mizzou softball highlights next.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU8 Sports.
Hello, everyone. It is a big weekend of softball in Columbia at 10. The Blues trail at San Jose 1-0 in Game 3 of their series. The series is tied at 1, and the Cards lead late over Colorado 10-7. Highlights of those St. Louis teams at 10 on Channel 8.
Coming up on KOMU8 News at 10 o'clock, the very latest on the Columbia police standoff on the north side of town.
Plus, we have a Target 8 investigation that looks into door-to-door security salesmen and how to tell if you're getting scammed. That's tonight at 10. Kenton?
A lot of clouds in mid-Missouri and rain slowly moving up as well. You can see almost all of Camden County right now is seeing some rainfall moving into Morgan County and Miller County as well. Otherwise, looking at our time lapse or our timeline here for tomorrow, we're looking at 62 this evening, then 52 tomorrow morning, 70 by tomorrow afternoon, and should have less rain throughout the day, becoming lighter at least. Otherwise 75 on Saturday, 80 on Sunday, with multiple chances for thunderstorms next week.
A Hollywood sports moment tonight.
The balloon overhead and the ball out of the park. Tigers
Next
win big.
pitch.